So settling down into the present moment, a gift to our awareness, a gift to our mind, heart, of simply being. Taking this time to settling into the center of our being. Bringing our mind away from worldly concerns, the concerns relating to self, coming back to that which is more perennial, ongoing, that fundamental inner nature of stillness, silence, spaciousness that can be sensed and felt, experienced and known as peace. The peace of being present. Awareness of our body, or what we can call the body, this physical form sitting, physical form in the posture of sitting for the purpose of meditation, fundamentally coming back to alignment. Mind, body, heart aligned. Here, now, knowing with peace and presence. Feeling into a few contact points in the body for references for the present. Feeling our feet connecting with the floor, being a present moment experience. The body against the chair, meditation cushion. The placement of our hands and fingers, sensation of hands and fingers resting in our lap. Bringing awareness to our shoulders, relaxing the shoulders without disturbing the uprightness of our back. Relaxing the chest area so we can breathe freely. Relaxing the abdomen belly area so our diaphragm can extend fully as we breathe. Awareness of our face, maybe the air against our face. Perceiving some degree of light coming in through the closed eyelids, some lightness, brightness, blankness. Few subtle background sounds that we can hear, but not being distracted or disturbed by those. Particularly also if there's any sounds or sights in the mind, thoughts, not engaging those into the activity of thinking, but rather bringing mindful awareness to the sensation of the breath, the inflow, outflow of the breath. Feeling that gentle inflow, outflow of each soothing, therapeutic, life-giving breath. Each breath giving life to the body and alertness to the mind. Enabling this experience of inner calm presence. please help yourself to tea, biscuits. For our meditation group, when we have a Sunday retreat day, the Thursday evening after that, we then have a bit of a debrief, what I call Ewa Me Sutang, which is the Pali language, the language the Buddha used, and it means thus have I heard. And probably at least, say, half of the Buddha's scriptures that you can read begin with that Pali stanza, Ewa Me Sutang, thus have I heard. Given that they were attributed to Venerable Ananda, the Buddha's attendant that spent many, many years attending, sitting with him, listening to teachings the Buddha gave to various peoples at various times. And so they always begin, thus have I heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying at this place and gave this particular teaching, etc. So in the same way, the tradition of sharing what we heard on the retreat session, also a chance to make any comments about how you found the retreat session or the meditations that happened, or any questions that you have about that. And also for those that weren't there, to be able to hear what it was like as well, and also to ask any questions as well for from those people that were on the retreat session. So this Sunday, just past the 29th of March, we were very fortunate to have Ajahn Medhino being here with us for that retreat day, which was in the morning from 9:30 up until 2 in the afternoon. Included a shared lunch together, which was very pleasant. For those of you that were here, I agree that the pleasant day, the weather was perfect. And the lunch was lovely. lots of lovely food that people brought along to share, and we even had an arms round so that the Ajahn we had people take the food that they'd brought along and make a bit of a circle sort of area, and the Ajahn went along and was able to receive the bit of food into his bowl. He said he had plenty. It was all very delicious and very pleasant. Um, and as well the food for the heart. So traditionally, lay people provide food for the body, and the monk or nun provides food for the heart. So teachings, some wisdom teachings, some Dharma teachings, and in keeping with the forest tradition. Um, Forest tradition being the Theravada Buddhist monastics that live in forested environments. The tradition is that generally there may be not a specific topic that the monk or nun may talk to, but more just feeling into the moment, feeling into the situation, feeling into the presence of people, and then just offering some teachings in that synergy, in that sense of um, dynamic of being responsive, as opposed to a particular set talk. Even though I did make a bit of a flyer and with the title "Meditations and Reflections from the Forest," given that Medhino was from the forest. He's been a monk for over 30 years, and he spent many years living in Thailand, in the forest jungles of Thailand, and the last 14 years living in the forest of Sri Lanka, 12 years as a hermit. So it was certainly meditations and reflections from the forest. And I was thinking about it, in fact, the last time I saw him, so I've known him for many years, the last time I saw him was when he was at the monastery I was at, the International Forest Monastery in the northeast of Thailand, Wat Ba Nana Chat. That's the Thai title of the place, Wat Ba Nana Chat International Forest Monastery. And he came, and I sort of left that same year. That was 1989. I was invited to go to England with a very senior Thai meditation master, one of Ajahn Chah's senior disciples, to act as his translator for the monasteries and monks and nuns in England. So left at that time, and so I haven't seen Ajahn Medhino since 1989, which is what, 37 years. Is that correct? 37 years? Mm-hmm. 37 years. Yeah, gosh. He hasn't changed. um, Still looks much the same. So it was really nice to have him here. In fact, when he was in Sri Lanka, we connected a few years ago, and through emails and so forth. And I spoke to him about the possibility of getting a Buddha image from Sri Lanka, and so he was able to. Yeah, there were some funds available, and so he had this Buddha image sent over from Sri Lanka. So it was nice to be able for him to see this Buddha image that he sent, and also get some photographs of him sitting here with the Buddha image. Very pleasant, and lovely to be able to do that, and for me to be able to accommodate him here, so we had plenty of time to talk and go on some long walks, and just to chat about monastic life and how he was doing, and points of practice, and hear some of the things about other monks that I know, what they're up to as well. So lovely experience, and I very much always like to share that with others, hence the sometimes a Thursday evening session, so the monk's here for the Thursday night and also Sunday as well, but he arrived a little bit later, so only here for the Sunday session to share. But as well, it's always a blessing. It's a blessing to spend quality time with monks, nuns, or people that have practiced well, that have in many ways given a lot of their life to practicing spiritual practice, meditation, Dharma practice, and certainly live that and model that to others. So um, for him to be able to be here, first time here, and to share some of his experiences and teachings with us was a wonderful experience. So for those of you that were here, um, any sort of thoughts or comments, things, maybe what did you hear that was significant or stood out? Because and not just what you might have heard him say when sitting here, but some of you had a bit of a chat with him outside as well. So anything that you'd like to share or questions as well? Susanna?
Thank you so much, John, for inviting Ajahn Medhino. It was very, very beautiful and yeah, very. I learned a lot.
Good.
And I was, I was surprised. Um, the two major things standing out for me is um, he noticed that many people were walking very slow with a walking meditation.
Mm.
And that was something I just realized I always find it very difficult because I was taught in the early days to walk very slow. And it's sort of like it always felt not right for me. So suddenly, I mean, he just said, well, everybody has their own speed, just like, you do what's right for you. So this was a major realization. And yeah, about meditating, the way he presented the meditation, just by assimilation, I think, I just felt so calm and it felt so effortless. So it's a bit of my problem. I'm trying too hard, whatever I do. So to just like really go into the flow of his teaching without any resistance was amazing. Then one more thing, he spoke about the transition from the practice we do every day into daily life. And he mentioned shopping center. So, or shopping center experience.
Yeah.
So I dislike shopping profoundly. So I postpone it. I go maybe every 3 or 4 weeks. Then I have a long list and I just like plan things so that I don't spend a minute too long in the shopping center. And then I noticed, so shopping was on Wednesday, and I noticed, well, suddenly I was walking slowly through the shopping center. And usually I would haste as fast as possible, breathing very shallow and creating an enormous amount of stress. So it becomes even more stressful than otherwise because I want to get out of the place. So for some reason, his teaching was really flowing into my practice, into my life, in the most effortless and amazing way. So I'm hugely grateful.
Very good. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think that was a significant point as well, because certainly on a retreat, it's good to slow down your walking, slow down your talking. If you're having a cup of tea, slow down, and rather than sort of gulping, slow down the eating if you're having something to eat. But in the forest tradition of Buddhist practice, one doesn't need to just only do slow walking. Slow walking can be really helpful just to slowing down and really being mindful of the movements of the walking meditation. But it can also be quite unbalancing. The slower you go, the more unbalanced one is. Yes, so that you need to be very, very mindful. But sometimes it may be better to move at your normal pace or even a bit quicker, because there's no sort of right or wrong sort of distinction there, because sometimes walking faster, you can get more energy. If you feel a bit tired, okay, walk faster. You need to sort of relax, okay, maybe walk a bit slower. Need to sort of stay ahead of the mosquitoes, walk faster. So it depends upon what works for you. It's really cold, yes, walk a bit faster. Otherwise, you're going to breeze out there. Um, so making it work for you, and that's what he was really pointing at, and also that point of not trying too hard. He used that the metaphor of the beach. No stress. It's enjoy being there. Sort of be present. Come to your senses, and he made a point of saying it's not a concentration camp. Concentrating. He said, how does it feel to be in a concentration camp? Don't make meditation a cause, but more just relax and allow the mind just to relax as well. Because often the more we force it, then the more it sort of jumps around. It can be problematic. So yeah, some good points that he certainly made. Mm. What else did people notice or hear that was interesting or meaningful? Scott?
Yeah, I was reflecting, and I think something I found helpful was um, the way he talked about, he's like, I'm going to give my instructions, and then this is how worked with the Buddha's teaching, or um, so for me, it was, I don't know, it's almost gave me permission or like reassurance or something. It's like, oh, stop looking for the right way to meditate.
Yeah.
There is it's about a bit of trying ways, what's going to
Yeah,
work
yeah.
for your particular personality. Or, yeah, I found that very helpful. I knew it, but it was really nice to hear it.
Yeah. So in that we could say that there's probably as many techniques as there are people practicing meditation, because everyone has their particular take on a technique, on an approach, and also modifying and making it suitable for you. And even like you may start with one way of a technique, practicing it, and then over time it needs to be modified and changed a little bit to work for you. And the freedom in that to go, yes, well, we need to make this fit or work for us, not like trying to sort of squash the mind into a technique that is not going to work. That's good. Anything else that you heard or saw or felt or liked? Someone did make a comment to me that they appreciated what Ajahn Medhino said about dana, the quality of generosity, and that there's various ways in which we can be generous, and even just offering a smile. It's an act of generosity that can be um, uplifting for the person that receives the smile, and the person that has the smile feels good. So that there's so many ways that one can be generous in one's day, and that feeling, that good feeling that comes from giving, sort of giving out and sharing and connecting. And sometimes just small ways that are subtle, that are simple, but have a great effect on people. And as example, then sharing a smile or sharing just a wave or things like that can make a big difference in somebody's life. can be the change their day around. Like someone can be feeling pretty low and things not going so well, but someone says something and smiles and just sort of picks the other person up and changes their whole mood. Great gift. John?
I was sitting waiting for him, and when he passed, that was like off to Sri Lanka now. There was something so attracted in just his presence.
Mm.
But I have the kind of personality, if you say to walk slow, I will walk slower than anybody else. um, so to hear that it can actually be a much more easier process to meditate. Because you give me a technique, I'll do that. I just I'll be dead set on that for however long it takes. So that was interesting. It sort of made it easier.
Yeah.
And also then to have the experience at home. Usually I do things quite quick. I've always liked that. I have a lot of energy, so I do things at my pace. But then to see actually where the consciousness and awareness sort of is at the maximum, I had to slow down. So there is a particular way of doing things that sort of maximizes presence.
Yeah. And again, it comes back to finding what works for you, and which may vary from day to day, based upon how you're feeling at that time and how the body's feeling, how the mind's feeling. But his general approach was to make it easy, don't stress, relax. That sense of seeing that it's more just pacing oneself with meditation and spiritual practice. Otherwise, one can burn out if it's too intense. And making it real so that as Susanna says, sort of being able to have the practice from a meditation day flow into daily life. It needs to be real, because one can't live in a monastery or live on a retreat. One needs to engage into real life. And even people that are monks and nuns, they still need to go to the airport or go to somebody's house or do things that engage in regular life. And I think that's one of the beauties of Theravada Buddhism, which relates back to the original Buddha's teachings. It's about not being cut off from the world, not being sort of isolated, and that's where the Buddha said that monks need to be dependent. Monks, nuns need to be dependent and reliant on lay people for their survival, not cut off in a spiritual cocoon away and sort of keeping lay people out, keeping the world out, because that becomes isolating. It's problems occurring that way, and also it's not sharing and connecting. The Buddha sort of was very much emphasizing the need for monks and us to get out, connect, share, even just the fundamental practice of alms rounds. So monks and nuns are reliant on the generosity of lay people like ourselves to offer some food for them to eat for the day. That monks and nuns can't store food. They have to have food that's each day. So they don't have like a fridge they can go and just get their food from. It's like go out, and yes, people do come to the monastery. They're allowed to come and offer food. Monks go out on alms rounds and collect food. So it's being in the world, but not getting caught up and distressed by the world, as opposed to shut off. And unfortunately, we could say that as Buddhism has not even progressed, but changed over the centuries, It has caused monks and nuns in other traditions to have their monastery in the mountains, away from any village and town, and even grow their own food. But that then means that the lay people aren't seeing monks and nuns out, aren't receiving teachings, aren't able to connect and go and talk to them. So certainly in Buddhist countries like Sri Lanka, Thailand, Laos, and Theravada Buddhist countries, you'll see the monks and nuns. They're out there in the morning. They're in the marketplace. They're receiving food from people. They're connecting, and the people go to the monastery as well and connect. And so it's more of a real lived experience. And so that we're getting examples. Certainly, lay people get examples of how to bring spiritual practice into your life, how to go to the shopping center and walk mindfully from the car to a shopping center, how to maybe be in the shopping center and be mindful, be aware, be present, and not have it affect one in a sort of in a negative way. It's that life is the practice. Practice is life with joy. He did point out as well that the walking meditation is a good sort of transition or interface between regular, ordinary life and the sitting still in meditation. Because we don't sit still in the shopping center. We're walking through the shopping center, and the walking meditation. Okay, if I can mindfully walk, not get too distracted, be present in the walking meditation, so too I can walk in the city and walk in the shops and walk here and walk there, and it's part of the meditation continues. Any other thoughts or comments? From the dana that was put into the bowl on Sunday, we were able to collect $1,000, which we've transferred to an account for the monastery, and so that sent a text today to say that we've transferred that money, and so from cash into bank account, and so that he said said great blessings, thank you for all those that were helpful, supportive, and it'll buy lots of tools. He said in Sri Lanka they don't have particularly good tools, and it's a lot of stuff is done by hand, and he's starting a monastery. He spent time, yes, many years there on retreat, but there's some land that's been given, and they'd like to be able to purchase a bit more land as well. But as he said on Sunday, that he's got really good at being able to make huts and buildings out of earth, and so that making these buildings out of earth and using wood as well is something that he'll be doing in this monastery that he's creating, and that he also invited people to come and visit and help out if you wish, so that there's an invitation there. We even spoke about arranging a tour to Sri Lanka. He said that one of the people in the village has a minibus, and they do sort of tours and things, and he knows his way all around Sri Lanka, so that in time, if we want to arrange a tour, fly to Sri Lanka and go and visit various sites, monasteries and temples. He said that Sri Lanka has Buddhist temples and holy sites that are over 1,000 years old. So outside of India, it's one of the oldest areas that Buddhism has gone to, and certainly still is there. Sri Lanka being a Buddhist country, so it's quite special to go there, and he finds that it's a wonderful place to be to practice. There's a lot of forest, and the people are very receptive and attentive and supportive. So maybe an opportunity in the future for us to arrange something. In the past, I did arrange a meditation group. We went to Thailand and spent a couple of weeks in Thailand visiting some of the forest monasteries, including some time in Bangkok for shopping, of course, mindful shopping. Next time we meet up, it'll be back to Eastern Standard Time, so there won't be daylight saving. Even tonight, it's sort of darker than what it was last week. So I recommend bringing a torch, or a torch on your phone, but ideally a torch so that you can find your way back to your car. I will be putting some lights down in the car park. Probably do those over the weekend, but still, it's good to have a torch just in case. Just in case that if for some reason you've forgotten a torch, walk with someone that's got a light as well. But that's just how it is. The seasons change, time changes, darker, but it can be pleasant being a bit cooler as well. So thanks for coming out tonight. Have a pleasant Easter weekend, long weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.